Good evening. I'm Courtney Bird, and I'm the vice chair, and I'm sitting in for Jamie, who's taking
Justin,
a leave
can
of
you record?
absence on this particular evening. And I'm calling the Wednesday, November the 6th meeting
Recording in
of the Falmouth
progress.
Conservation Commission to order. And one comment I'll make before we start is that some of you are perhaps disappointed, and maybe some of you are happy with the outcome of voting yesterday. But one truism is constant. The sun came up this morning in the east and it set in the west. So on that note, before we start, I want to note it for the record that we have a quorum with Steve, Kevin, Maury, and myself. So we'll get underway. First of all, I want to thank our staff, Jen, Alyssa, Fallon, Mark, Lori, and Kristen. This open meeting of the Falmouth Conservation Commission is being conducted via Zoom, and it is also being broadcast on cable channel 15 and streamed online via ftc.org. Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022 regarding COVID-19 allows for full public participation in this meeting. For those who want to view the meeting but do not want to participate, we suggest viewing on FCTV. Members of the public who want to make comments or ask questions during the meeting may join the meeting as Zoom attendees, which allows you to submit for the record written comments and questions via the chat function, and also to see and hear the meeting in real time. If you want to speak at the meeting, let us know via the chat function. At the appropriate time, the chair will call for public comment. When you are selected, you will be moved into the hearing as a participant. Your audio and video must be enabled. Be succinct and respectful of others. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes each. The link and instructions for joining the meeting are listed in the agenda posting and can be found at www.falmouthma.gov conservation. FCTV will also be posting information on how to access the Zoom meeting during the broadcast of this meeting. This meeting is being recorded, so please be aware that you as a panelist can be seen and heard unless you have muted your microphone and or shut off your camera. And that includes any open windows on your computer if you use the screen share. Therefore, act accordingly. Before turning to the first item on the agenda, I want to review some basic ground rules for orderly conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. As chair, I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. Please remember to unmute your microphone, turn on your video so that you can be heard and seen and speak clearly. When done, please remute your microphone. Please do not speak unless recognized by the chair. If you are a meeting attendee and want to ask a question or make a comment, please use the chat function. After each presentation, the chair will ask staff members for questions and comments. The chair will then ask the commission members for comments or questions. After the presentation and staff and commissioner discussion, the chair will ask staff members to read any questions or comments typed into the Zoom chat by members of the public. Following that, the chair will call for public comment. All votes in this remote meeting will be taken via roll call. I will call out the name of each member and ask you to repeat your last name before making your vote. First, under the first order of business is, do we have minutes? Yes, to vote minutes of the meeting of October 23, 2024. Has anyone read the minutes?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I reviewed the minutes and I'd move their approval as written unless others have comments.
Second, O'Brien.
We have a second?
Second.
Okay. So is there any discussion on the minutes?
Yes, I was not here, so I don't know if you need a quorum to vote the minutes.
Yes, we do. So we'll table the minutes till the next time.
Is that not a ministerial function? Which is to say,
For the
which is-
record, you're voting something, you need a quorum, even if it's just minutes. So
okay.
you got to put it off to the next hearing. Okay?
Okay, so we're gonna postpone the meeting till, the minutes until the next meeting.
Correct.
Okay, next on the agenda is request for a continuance of a determination of applicability. Michael No, 205 Lakeshore Drive, Falmouth, Mass, for permission to install new siding, reconstruct a deck, and reconstruct a retaining wall. Alyssa?
Yes, the applicant has requested a continuance until November 13th.
Okay.
So
Do we
moved,
have-
O'Brien.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second,
We have-
Patton. Sorry.
Okay, so we have a motion, a second to continue this until the 13th of November. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Kevin,
O'Brien, aye.
Maury,
Arlo Hawks, aye.
Steve,
Patton, aye.
Bird, aye. Okay, next, we have requests for determinations of applicability. Joe Hossford and Rice Street, Falmouth, Mass, for permission to construct 2 dormers.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Maura, you recusing?
Yep. I'm recusing.
Okay, we don't have a quorum for this project, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is aware, and we are continuing this project till December 4th.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved,
we-
O'Brien.
Okay, second. We have a second. Patton, second, so we will, any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. This is to continue this until when? What was the date?
The December 4th.
December 4th. All right, so, Kevin,
O'Brien, aye.
Maury. Maury,
Maura, you're
I'm
on mute.
recused. I'm recused myself.
oh, that's correct. So Steve, we don't have a quorum, so then,
We have to continue it anyway. We don't have a quorum. Maura, if you want to just vote to continue it to the 4th,
Yeah.
that'd be fine.
I vote to continue it to the 4th, Harlow Hawks.
Thank you.
okay, and Steve? Did you
Aye.
vote? Okay,
Patton,
and
aye.
Courtney, Bird, aye. Okay, next, we have Quistit Harbor House Land Trust, 18 Cary Lane and 71 Quistit Harbor Road, Falmouth, Mass, for permission to conduct invasive species management in accordance with Mass DEP number 25-4396.
The applicant has withdrawn this application.
Okay, so no action is required. Moving
Correct.
on, Michael No has been continued. Next, Ronald Cunha, 133 Adamansett Road, Falmouth, Mass, for permission to reseal a foundation, install a drainage system, reconstruct existing retaining walls, and trench for new underground utilities. Alyssa.
Staff recommends a -3 under the state and a -2 under the bylaw. Resource area boundaries are not confirmed.
So
So
moved.
moved.
All right,
Harlow
who's-
Hawks, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this RDA. Okay, Kevin.
O'Brien, aye.
Wait,
Harlow
Maury,
Hawks, aye.
Steve,
Patton, aye.
and myself, aye. Okay, next, we have Cataldo Builders, 18 Associate Road, West Falmouth, Mass, permission to reconstruct a pool. Alyssa.
Staff recommends a -3 under the state and a -2 under the bylaw. Resource area boundaries are not confirmed.
So moved, Patton.
Harlow Hawks, second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those I'm sorry, we gotta go do a roll call. So Kevin,
O'Brien, aye.
Maury,
Harlow Hawks, aye.
Steve,
Patton, aye.
and Bird, aye. Next, we have hearings under a notice of intent. All hearings of the Falmouth Conservation Commission are held simultaneously under the authorities of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Falmouth Wetlands Bylaw. Although a single decision of the commission is issued, it represents a separate decision under each authority. So, first up is Paul Broderick, which I believe we have not yet continued. Is that correct?
Correct, Courtney, you have to read it.
Okay, so I need a motion.
Courtney, did you already read 51 Nemansket?
Just read it into the record.
Read it into the record, please, Courtney.
Which one is that?
That's Broderick, Paul Broderick.
Okay, Paul Broderick, 31 or
51.
51 Nemansket Road, Falmouth, Mass. For permission to raise a single-family dwelling, construct a new single-family dwelling with decks, install a new Title V sewage disposal system, and conduct invasive species removal and restoration.
Yes,
So,
Mr. Chairman, the applicant has requested a continuance until December 4th.
So moved, Harlow Hawks.
Patton second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to continue this until the 4th of December. Any discussion?
No, thank you.
Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Kevin,
O'Brien, aye.
Maury,
Harlow Hawks, aye.
Steve,
Patton, aye.
and myself, aye. All right, moving on. The next is continue to request to amend an existing order of conditions. That's KFN Hillside Nominee Trust, 24 Willis Lane, Falmouth, Mass. Request to amend the orders of conditions for Mass DEP number 254633 to reduce the size of the previously approved patio, relocate the conditions for Mass DEP number 254633 to reduce the size of the previously approved patio, relocate the drainage structure and the shed, and replace a wooden boardwalk to the beach, and relocate mitigation plantings. So,
Good evening.
Mr. Chairman, I have promoted Sean Riley from Ty and Bond and Tabitha Cagle from Wilkinson or Ty and Bond? I think it's Wilkinson. Sorry about that, Tabitha, to present their project.
thank you. So are you on deck, Steve? Are
Sean,
you on?
Sean, yes.
Yeah, Sean, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Courtney.
You're
So,
on.
thank you. If I could share my screen, we've made some minor revisions after discussions about the boardwalk approach to the beach. We made a curvilinear boardwalk. We're hoping that satisfies the concerns about having a straight alley. We've also shown a diversity of plants, not just beach grass within the vacated walkway, the boardwalk, and also for the area where we're going to be accessing the beach to remove if you remember, removing the wave break. And we've realigned some of the mitigation that was shown in an area that was previously shown as restoration. And I think that's all that was outstanding, but I think staff had some comments about the corner of the mitigation closest to the front porch being within 10 feet of the building. So there's a small pocket there that still needs to be relocated so that it's further than 10 feet from the building. And then another area that we're proposing down by the pool that was within the 10 feet. So through the chair, if the commission finds it acceptable, we'll revise that plan and get that over to you tomorrow with those areas relocated, unless there are any other outstanding issues or questions. So with that, I'll open it up.
Jen,
yes, Mr. Chairman, Sean, thank you for reconfiguring that boardwalk area. It makes me a little bit less concerned if there is kind of a curve or a break, so I appreciate that. And if the board doesn't have any questions, or the board doesn't want to see the revised vegetation plan, I'd be fine with closing the hearing with the issuance of that revised plan.
Okay,
If that's helpful to you, Sean, I know this has been dragging out. But it's just those two areas that we had
Very
concerns
small
with.
areas.
Other than that, I don't have any additional questions, so thank you.
okay. Alyssa, do you have
Sean, can you
anything?
stop sharing?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
I
So
have no
Alyssa, do you
comments.
have anything to add?
I'm good for now. Thank you.
Alyssa, are you good with the revised plan? If we close and we give the revised plan? Yeah,
Yep, I
let's
can
just
review
move
it.
this along.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so I will go to comments from the commission. Steve?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for listening to us and being so amiable to our discussions. It's, I think it's, as an East Falmouth resident, one more time, this is a great project. Thank you.
Kevin?
No comments, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Maury?
Yeah, just thank you for making the revisions, and there is enough room, Jen, to do the little pockets of mitigation, I'm sure.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, okay. Other than that, thank you.
And as chair, I'm fine with them submitting a revised plan. So are there any other comments from the board? Is there anything in the chat function?
There's nothing in the chat, Mr. Chairman.
And
I
we
make-
don't have anybody who wants to speak.
No, we don't, Mr. Chairman.
I make a
Then
motion.
I will call for a motion.
I make a motion to close the hearing and take it under advisement. Arlo Hawks.
Pat, and second.
So we have a motion and a second to close the hearing and take it under advisement. Is there any further comments or discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. Kevin?
O'Brien, aye.
Maury?
Arlo Hawks, aye.
Steve?
Pat and I.
And Bird, aye. So we have closed this hearing and taken it under advisement.
Thank you all for your consideration and time.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Tabitha.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is a request to extend an existing order of conditions. Scott Tynell, 163 Bay Road, North Falmouth, Mass. DEP number 25-4513. Request for a 4-year extension.
Yes,
Jen?
Mr. Chairman, I do recommend the 4-year extension. This project is an aquaculture grant. They've been tied up for a while with permitting and abutter issues, but they're finally set to start, and they would like a 4-year extension. I have no problem granting that.
Okay.
So moved, Hawks.
So do we have any comments from, I'm sorry, Alyssa, do you have anything to add or?
Nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay, I'll call for comments from the board. Steve?
No comments.
Kevin?
No comments, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Maury?
No comments. Glad it's coming to an end.
And I don't have anything to add either, so I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to it.
Go ahead, Maureen. I'm sorry. A motion to grant a 4-year extension of.
We have a second. We need a
Arlo
second.
Hawks, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to grant a 4-year extension. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Kevin?
O'Brien, aye.
Maury?
Arlo Hawks, aye.
Steve?
Pat and I.
Bird? Aye. I see that we've come to the end of the items on our agenda, so unless there's something else, and we did this in record time, I have 7:22 on my watch. I'll entertain a motion, a final motion.
Make a motion to adjourn, Arlo Hawks.
Pat and second.
Okay.
Roll
We'll
call.
start. Okay, Steve, go ahead.
Pat and I. Out of order. Sorry.
Kevin
O'Brien, aye. And
and
if
Maury.
you can do this
Arlo
every
Hawks, aye.
week, the job's yours permanently.
And Maury.
Hello, Hawks. Aye.
and Bird eye, so we are adjourned.